Welcome back to the Leading Edge, Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders, and I'm chatting right now with Sandy Bonny. So Sandy, do you think that there's a perfect leadership style?
Yes. No. No, I don't think so. I think there are aspects of leadership that can certainly be learned and developed, and there are also aspects that are probably innate. I think the perfect leaders are people who don't ask more of the people they're leading than themselves, so people who work hard. And as we discussed earlier, I think a vision is important. So I think it's important that people know what a leader is about.
So it sounds like from your definition that it's important to lead by example.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
So if you're going to model certain values, you model your vision, model certain skills, then people will follow that.
I think so, or maybe they won't follow it, but they won't. Yeah, I think leadership should involve a lot of integrity, and if you have skills that are necessary to a vision that you don't have yourself, then it would not be so much bringing people on board who share your vision, but who compensate for maybe skills you don't have.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things that leaders have is they have a group of very solid core values, and you mentioned integrity. What does integrity mean to you as a leader?
Well, I guess ethical integrity would be, if you're promoting honesty or you're sharing a vision, I would expect that you would walk that talk. I think that, that's part of integrity, but it's not only about, ethical perspectives. I think accountability, living up to responsibilities that you take on, those are parts of integrity. So I work a lot with different community partners and things like that, and they know that if our program says we're going to do something, we will, and that's how the program has kept going, is that kind of accountability and really having that as a high standard.
And honoring commitments.
Honoring commitments, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what other values do you think are important for a leader to have?
Well, I think flexibility. It sounds funny as a value, but I think you have to value adaptability. So carrying things out to a T is always good if it's a good T. But often circumstances are going to change, and you need to be willing to change with them. So that would be one, flexibility, and working with people. I think empathy and we seek to live in a way that promotes justice for people, but we have to be accommodating of people's faults and failings or other circumstances. So being empathetic and, I guess, kind. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think as human beings, we're all flawed. So when you look at some of the leaders, the great leaders we've had, they're flawed too, or they have flaws. So I think that goes part and parcel with being a great leader, is that they have this set of fantastic skills, but on the other side, they do have some flaws that go with them.
And you had asked me before the show about leaders that I admire, and when I kind of went through some great, famous leaders, in many cases I realized, I don't really know very much about them other than the great things they did. And I think interpersonally, the people I admire most are the people I know the best. And often you admire things about them because you know their flaws and you know what they're overcoming. And, yeah.
So what have you taken away from the leaders that you admire most?
Well, I guess one leader, a famous leader that I can say I admire is Senator Lillian Dick. So she's a neuropsychiatrist, and she was a VP, a dean at the university, and now she's working as a senator. She's advocating for Aboriginal education in a really vocal way. And one thing that she shared with me is that, she didn't feel as though she was cut out for leadership. Like her place of comfort was working in a lab, and she really enjoyed that place. But when she realized that to make a difference and to make society change better and for everyone, she had to take on responsibilities and learn new skills. And I really admire that about her, that she's willing to do that and step outside of her comfort zone to make things happen.
So it's important to stretch then as a leader, or have that ability to stretch.
I think so.
There's an old saying, and you touched on it briefly, that leaders are born and they're not made. And you said before that some leadership skills are innate. How do you feel about that saying?
Well, I guess the idea that some aspects that make people good leaders, they may have been born with, but they didn't, no one follows a toddler around, right? So obviously they've made choices and decisions and done a lot of learning to get into a place of leadership. In my own case, I guess across my jobs, really a lot of what I've done is try to bring my multivocality into the way people understand science and the opportunities inherent in science. And I do think interdisciplinary thinking is probably something I was born with. I had a teacher once comment to me, I'd say you think outside of the box, but I don't think you know what boxes are. So and I think that's it's true. I think in a very globally connected way. And so, that's characterized the way I do things.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a very shy youth. I don't think I was a great leader in high school or anything like that.
So some of those skills you developed over time.
Yeah.
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 So do you think you need to be a CEO of an organization to be a leader?
Probably not. In fact, I think a lot of CEOs have to listen to the people bringing innovation to them. So they have to, in some cases, follow their staff, right? And I think the middle ground where opinions and priorities are normalized is probably where a lot of leadership happens in a lot of organizations.
So if somebody was coming to you and they were just starting out on the leadership journey and they were looking to you for advice, what advice would you give to somebody new starting on that journey?
Well, I guess I would say, look at the people you admire and look at why you admire them. And in most cases, it's not going to be having a degree or a certain thing. It'll be a characteristic that maybe you recognize in yourself. That's probably why you admire it. So that would be one. The other one would be to be yourself, because I don't think anyone can operate outside of their inherent skill set for too long. So if you're wanting to be a leader or to really lead in some discipline, it should be one that is in some way innate for you, I think.
So looking ahead, and let's just assume that we're at your funeral and people are making speeches about you, what would you like them to say about you as a leader?
At my funeral?
Yes.
I miss her. What are we going to do? I think the idea of accountability is something that I hope will keep going for my life. So I hope that people would know that I did the best to honor commitments that I had made. And I'm very sorry that I died and had to let some of them go, because I'm pretty sure I'll work right up to the end. So, yeah.
It was a pleasure chatting with you, Sandy. Wish you the best of luck in your in the future with your program.
Thank you.
And with your books, and look forward to your books when they come out.
Thank you.
Okay. My guest has been Sandy Bonny, and this is The Leading Edge, Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders. I'm Dave Hagel, your host. Thank you for joining us on The Leading Edge, Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders. I hope you found today's show thought-provoking and interesting. If you have any questions about leadership, or you'd like to talk to me about the show in general, send me an email at dave@highperformancehr.ca. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to close with this quote on leadership.